Have you grown tomatoes and been anticipating the great taste of those homegrown tomatoes, just to find that the squirrels are eating at least half your tomatoes? It's so disappointing. I've had that problem, and part of my problem, or cause of that problem, has been I have my garden here, and my wife loves to feed the birds, and so the feed from the bird feeder falls down on the ground, and the squirrels come from these woods over behind our house, and they come across the fence and by the garden or through the garden to the bird feeder, get them some feed, and then on the way back they pick a few tomatoes. Now, I don't think that tomatoes are the first choice for feed for squirrels, but they will eat virtually anything, and if they run across some tomatoes, then they'll eat them, and they'll get in the habit of eating them. So my wife loves to feed the birds, and I would not at all tell her not to do that so that the squirrels don't come into our yard. But what I looked for was another solution of how I could keep them from eating my tomatoes, and I'm going to tell you about what that is. Maybe you want to try it also. But what I thought about was using an electric fence, and I'm going to tell you how I did that. I bought this unit off the internet, and I'm not pushing any particular brand, but I bought it, and it's a AC powered. You can also get battery powered ones, and I mounted it in this little kind of birdhouse looking thing with a clear front so that I can get to it. And what it does is, if you'll see this red terminal right here, that's where approximately 5,000 volts comes out. It's low current, but it's a high voltage, and then here's a ground. And by the way, the unit that I got is the smallest unit that they have. It's recommended for pets and you know, small animals like squirrels or rabbits or whatever that you're trying to keep in an area. And normally on a fence, electric fence, what you would have is a conductor. It's turned off, so I'm not getting shocked. But you'd have a conductor, maybe a couple of strands of wire, and if let's say this was to keep cows or pigs or something into an area, if they touched that, they would be shocked because they would be standing on the ground. So the ground would provide a path back to the charger, to the unit that provides the voltage. And in my case, I didn't do it that way. In that case, with that type of an arrangement, you would take the ground and you'd put rods into the ground that would provide the path from to the fence for the animals that you were trying to keep out. In my case, where I had squirrels, I need something a little bit different. So what I did was I used the rabbit wire, a 2-foot rabbit wire fence around the enclosure, and that is my ground. And then the hot goes to the conductor up on top. So it's wired this way. The green, or the ground, goes to the fence, and it's a continuous loop all the way around the garden, and then the top is the hot wire, and it's not connected here, but it goes all the way around the fence and circles back around to here. So the whole fence is energized with the exception of this little piece right here. So what happens is the squirrel decides he wants to get into the garden to check it out, and he climbs up the fence post, and then when he touches this wire with his nose or whatever, he gets a shock. And this unit here has a little pulse light on it. It's not turned on right now, but when it's on, there's a little LED that will flash every couple of seconds, and that's when there's a charge on the fence. So it's putting out a pulse that hits every couple of seconds. And you might ask, how do I know this is working? Well, I've touched it inadvertently a couple of times, and believe me, it tickles quite a bit. It is a deterrent. You don't want to touch it. It won't hurt you. It's not really harmful, but it's not something that you want to touch. I see I got a couple of strands touching. That's one thing. You have to make sure that the upper strand is not touching your ground, or everything will get shorted out. But a couple of times I have happened to look out the window just as a squirrel climbed up one of these posts and touched his nose to the wire, and believe me, they quickly do a backflip off of the post and do not go in the garden. I've had a lot of success with this. I haven't had any squirrels eating my tomatoes since I put this in, and I just thought I would share with you how my garden's now in decline, but it's protected it all summer, and tomatoes have been good. And so this is just some ideas. Now, as far as getting power to the charger, you have to, I've run an extension cord that would not meet electrical code, but it doesn't draw much power, and that's my solution. You could either have a battery operated one, or you could run conduit and put a more permanent solution in. One other thing I wanted to mention, I've got some sweet potatoes growing in bags this year, and watch out for a video soon on harvesting those to see how they came out. I've tried it this way, that bag, and then this one also, I've grown sweet potatoes in it, and I had some trouble with the rabbits eating some of the vines initially. So what I did was I put some strands around the sweet potatoes, and this goes all the way around, and then I connected it, if you can see this little wire going up here to the fence, to the hot wire, so that those two wires are hooked together. Both of these are charged, so if the rabbit comes up here and goes under the fence, he's going to goes under the wire, he's going to touch it and probably get shocked, and that has kept the rabbits out of the sweet potatoes. They can still eat the ends, but they're doing good. So anyway, that's my solution for keeping squirrels out of the tomatoes. And as I said, watch out for a video soon about harvesting these sweet potatoes, because we're getting into the fall, and very soon it's going to be time to see how these have come out. See you later. Thanks.